Hey guys, coming at you with another What's Next. This is on undefeated WBO middleweight champion Demetrius Andrade. Andrade main evented a January 30th The Zone card when he took on little-known Luke Keeler and dominated him to a 9th round TKO victory as he retained his world title again. I believe that was his third consecutive and successful WBO title defense. So the big question now is, what's next for Demetrius Andrade heading into the rest of the year? You know, we know that Andrade's pretty much the boogeyman at middleweight. He's a southpaw with that awkward, ugly style. Does throw a decent amount of punches, but doesn't seem to engage too much. So what is he going to do, or what is he going to be able to do next? Let's run through the top 10. Number 1 is the WBA super champion, Canelo Alvarez. Alvarez doesn't have Andrade on his radar. He's actually most likely going to be moving up to 168, and most people don't feel like he's going to return to 160 after that. So, you know, as of right now, Andrade is just not on his radar and not going to be next for Canelo. So I don't see that one. Next is IBF champion Triple G Gennady Golovkin. This fight's possible if Triple G wins in what is likely going to be April when he makes his mandatory defense. If he wins that fight and he looks at a possible Andrade fight next, that would only happen if Canelo decides to go in another direction in September instead of facing Triple G in the third fight. So we got to wait and see what happens there. I'm leaning towards a no because I really do think Triple G and Canelo are going to lock horns again, but if something were to happen, I could possibly see this one going down and Triple G taking that risk to try to unify belts. Next, at number 3 is the undefeated WBC champion Jermall Charlo. Now, reportedly, Eddie Hearn made a big deal, a big offer to Jermall Charlo and the PBC to come over to the Zone and attempt to unify belts against Andrade. I haven't heard anything out of the Charlo camp, and I'm leaning towards that this fight's not going to happen. I really don't think Charlo wants this fight. And also, I don't think he'd want it either way, but for the first time in a while for Charlo, he's got a couple decent options in the PBC fighting at middleweight. He could face Sergey Derevyanchenko or Chris Eubank Jr. next, and I think he'd rather just lean that way if he can't get the two top dogs, Canelo and Triple G. So I'm not seeing this one, but I would love to see it happen. Next at number 4 is former 2-time world title challenger Sergey Derevyanchenko. Possible, but not likely. I really do think Derevyanchenko is going to get the WBC title shot against Jermall Charlo, so I'm not seeing this one. Next at number 5 is Chris Eubank Jr. Now, Eubank could be the guy that says fuck it and goes after Demetrius Andrade because he is desperate to land a big fight. Nobody seems to want to fight Andrade. And I think he's going to be the odd man out in terms of the Jermall Charlo sweepstakes. He would have to possibly wait for the winner of Charlo and Derevyanchenko towards the end of the year, to the second half to the end of the year. And I think Eubank wants to get in there and get a big fight. So it's possible, but I'm going to lean towards not happening, but it could happen. I have Andrade currently at number 6. So number 7 at middleweight right now is the WBA regular champion Ryota Murata. Wouldn't completely rule it out if Murata doesn't get the Canelo fight, which he's being rumored as one of the top candidates, but I'm hoping he doesn't get that fight because it really doesn't make any sense for Canelo. But, and if he doesn't, I could see it happening. It technically would be a unification bout as Murata holds the WBA regular belt, but I really think Bob Arum's going to keep him clear of that, possibly go for a third fight with Rob Brandt next, or a showdown with Jeff Horn from Australia. So, right now I'm not seeing this one being next for Andrade. Next at number 8 is former WBA champion Rob Brandt. Now, would Bob Arum allow Brandt, if Murata lands the Canelo fight, would Bob Arum allow Brandt to go to Matchroom and challenge for the title? I think he would. And I think if Andrade's desperate enough, he'd face a former champion like Rob Brandt. But I'm hoping that Brandt fights Murata in a rubber match because I really don't want to see Murata get a shot at Canelo. So that's what I'm leaning towards happening, but we just got to wait and see. Number 9 is Jaime Munguia, the undefeated former junior middleweight champion. Now, Munguia just got his first victory at middleweight when he knocked out Spike O'Sullivan in January. And he is currently the number 1 contender for the WBO title. So I can definitely see this fight happening next. The big question for Golden Boy is, do they want to give Munguia a chance at Andrade now, knowing that a future fight with Canelo, possibly even 2021, shit, that could happen towards the end of this year. Would they take that risk? I think Jaime Munguia wants to take that risk, and I can see it happening. So, possible. And then, lastly, is former world title challenger Matt Korobov. And if Korobov pushed hard enough, I think he could get this fight if Andrade is desperate, still looking for a big-name opponent. So, we just got to wait and see. So, yeah, a lot of possibilities. I think the most real ones would be definitely Andrade against what's his name? Shit, I'm drawing a blank. Against the number 7. Fuck. Sorry, guys. Just excuse the language. Andrade against Munguia. I could also see Andrade taking on Eubank or the other guy, Korobov. So we just got to wait and see what happens. But that's it. That's the what's next on undefeated WBO middleweight champion Demetrius Andrade. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, been hit with the truth.